At the Lego villa, Lila is stirring a mysterious silver-gray liquid in a Technic cauldron. GROG leans in, curious. Lila explains this is her newest invention, super sticky resin, designed to reinforce high walls forever. She brushes a thin layer of the glistening glue onto the smooth tiles of the villa's exterior. Under the sun, the resin sparkles like polish, but don't be fooled by its beauty. GROG, being GROG, reaches out to touch it. Lila tries to stop him, but it's too late. Squelch. His finger is fused to the wall. He pulls with all his might, his minifigure face twisting in effort, but he's going nowhere. Lila has to use the Brick Separator. Pop! GROG is finally free, tumbling backward onto the grass. High above, a flock of the four-winged Microraptors, soars through the sky, their pearl-dark plumage shimmering in the light. One little raptor spots the glistening wall and mistakes the resin for sweet tree sap. He dives down, landing both feet right in the middle of the wet glue. Sticky situation. His feet are locked tight. He stares at his claws in total confusion. He flutters his wings to escape, but one wing touches the wall and… squelch! He's stuck sideways. He chirps frantically, calling his squad for a high-speed rescue. Two more Micro-R dive down to help. The second lands on the back of the first and is instantly glued to his friend. The third tries to grab the second's tail, but slips, face-planting directly into the wall. In just seconds, 5 Microraptors have formed a dino collage stuck to the side of the villa. GROG and Lila look up in horror. Suddenly, their house has grown wings and feathers. Lila climbs a ladder to help, but her hands start sticking to their feathers too. GROG holds the ladder steady, but he steps right into a puddle of spilled resin on the ground. Classic GROG. He lifts his leg, but his shoe, a 1x2 plate, stays glued to the earth. The Micro-R squad panics, flapping their wings together and making the villa walls groan. Creak, crack. Rexy the T-Rex wanders over, poking his massive snout right up to the wall to see what's going on. One stuck raptor gives a desperate flick of his tail, hitting Rexy right on the nose. The sticky tail clings to the T-Rex's snout. Rexy freezes, eyes wide with shock. Rexy panics and pulls back, but because the raptor is stuck to both the wall and his nose, the whole wall starts to move. GROG screams, "Rexy, stop! You'll pull the whole house down!" Rexy tries to sneeze the problem away. Achoo! Achoo! Instead of blowing them away, his plastic drool hits the wall, making the mess even slippier and stickier. Lila remembers, water! Only Splash's high-pressure blast can dissolve this resin. GROG pulls out his whistle and blows a long signal toward the lake. Splash, the plesiosaurus, breaks the surface, his mouth full of trans-blue round studs. He swims to shore, arching his long neck high above Rexy's head. He aims right at the sticky connection between Rexy's nose and the little raptor. Whoosh! A jet of blue bricks erupts like a fire hose. The pressure breaks the resin's grip. Rexy falls backward, free at last, but totally dazed. Next, Splash sprays the wall where the rest of the Micro-R squad is held hostage. The blue water hits the glue with a satisfying patter, patter, pop. The resin loses its grip, turning from gray to milky white and dissolving into tiny bits. One by one, the Microraptors drop safely into a net held by the micro-builders below. But their feathers are still matted and sticky, making them look like grumpy little plastic balls. Funny moment. One raptor tries to fly, but his wing is stuck to his tail. He spins like a propeller before face-planting into the dirt. GROG uses a plastic cloth to wipe the leftover glue off his and Lila's hands. Lila checks the wall. The glue is gone, but the paint is a bit scuffed. She has a sudden stroke of genius to save the birds and decorate the villa. She orders the builders to install small stone perches, bracket pieces, along the window ledges. GROG carries each Micro-R and sits them carefully on the perches. Since they're still a bit tacky, they have to hold still to let the resin dry properly in the sun. One stands with wings spread. One looks at the sky. One strikes a warrior pose. Lila adjusts their angles until they are perfectly symmetrical and artistic. From a distance, the villa now looks like it's decorated with exquisite dinosaur carvings. Rexy walks up, gently nudging a statue with his nose. The Microraptor glares at him but doesn't move, terrified he'll get stuck to the big guy again. Splash sprays a fine mist of water to keep them cool under the midday sun. The sunlight hits the iridescent feathers and water, creating tiny rainbows all around the villa. GROG mixes a new batch of anti-glue and tests it on a spill on the floor. It vanishes instantly. Victory! We have the cure! GROG goes to spray the birds, but Lila stops him. Wait, look! They look magnificent! The Micro-R squad seems to agree. They stand tall with pride, enjoying their new view. The villagers gather around to see the valley's first living statue exhibition. Everyone marvels at GROG's accidental creativity. An hour passes. The resin is fully dry, becoming a shiny, protective coating on their feathers. GROG sprays the anti-glue only on their feet so they can move if they want to. But the Micro-R squad chooses to stay. They've fallen in love with being models. A plastic fly zips past the center raptor's nose. Hilarious! His head snaps around like lightning to follow the fly, but his body stays as stiff as a rock. Rexy lies down at the base of the villa, looking like a stone lion guarding a feathered castle. Lila paints tiny details on the perches to finish the masterpiece. GROG hangs a small sign on the wall, "The Living Gargoyles." The flycam zooms in on each bird, showing the intricate brickwork and the gloss of the resin. It pans out to show the brilliant villa, decorated with dinosaurs on every floor. Splash swims in circles, creating ripples that reflect light onto the walls. As night falls, the Micro-R squad finally begins to stretch and move gently. They don't fly away. The Lego villa is the safest and coolest home in the valley. GROG and Lila sit by the fire, admiring their strange masterpiece. Sometimes, the stickiest mistakes lead to the most beautiful results, Lila smiles. One little raptor flies down, landing on GROG's shoulder and nuzzling his cheek. GROG realizes the wing is still a bit tacky. The bird is now stuck to GROG's plastic beard. Help! GROG runs around the yard with a bird dangling from his face. Rexy tries to help, but trips GROG into Splash's water bucket. Laughter echoes through the night Thunloon. The elder Brick walks by, looking up at the Micro-R and nodding. Art is a connection, sometimes made with superglue. The camera pulls back, showing the glowing villa nestled in the green forest. The Micro-R squad flaps their wings in unison, creating a rhythmic flap, flap, flap. The words "The End" appear, looking stuck to the screen until a minifigure hand pries them off with a separator. Wait for it. One Microraptor flies into the lens, leaving a sticky footprint right in the middle of the frame. The footprint fades away. Good night, builders.